Okay, on this video, we're going to go over the distributive property. This should be a property that you've seen before. And I'm just going to look at this one example right here of this 6 times the quantity of 2 plus 3. I know if I did order of operations and I did 2 plus 3 on the inside, I would get 5. And then I know 6 times 5 is 30. If I use the distributive property, I should still get 30 as the answer. What the distributive property says is if I have a quantity on the outside of parentheses, I can distribute this 6 to everything on the inside. So I'm going to have 2 arrows. So I'm going to have this 6 times this 2. And then since this is a plus, I'm going to bring down the plus. And then I put the other arrows. And that's going to be 6 times 3. So distributive is basically multiplying. And since I have 2 terms on the inside, it means I multiply twice. So if I did this, I would get 6 times 2 is 12, and then 6 times 3 is 18, and I still get the same thing. I still get 30. All right, so that's an example of the distributive property. Now, where we're really going to see it is when we have variables. So if I look at number 5, I'm going to kind of zero in on number 5. All right, if I follow the order of operations, the parentheses stand out, but I can't add 3 to the 2x because they're not like terms. We talked about that in the previous video. So what I could do is this 4 on the outside is what I'm going to distribute to the 2x and to the 3. So I'm going to put the arrows in here. So that first arrow tells me I'm going to do 4 times 2x. And then since this is a plus, I'm going to put a plus right down here. So I'm going to have plus. I'm going to put a second arrow. And what that means for that second arrow is it's 4 times 3. And then if I evaluate it, 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 3 is 12. So I get 8x plus 12. Those are unlike terms, so I can't simplify it any further. That's the expression there. I'm going to move over to number 6. Now, number 6, we are distributing a negative, so we really have to pay attention to the negatives. So I'm going to distribute negative 2. So it's going to be negative 2 times 4. Now this is where we really have to pay attention. All right. I'm distributing this negative 2 to this negative. So a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. So I'm going to put a positive here. And then I'm just going to put, when I do this second arrow, those negatives cancel out, so I'm just going to have 2 times 3x. And then when I multiply those, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And 2 times 3x is 6x. So it's negative 8 plus 6x. Again, those are unlike terms, so I'm finished. Okay, if I just did one more, if I did number 7, it kind of looks a little weird because you have 2 sets of parentheses. In this, the 3x minus 1, these are not like terms, so you can't combine them. This one's written a little bit differently in that the number you distribute is written to the right. So this negative 2, I'm going to distribute that to the 3x and the negative 1. So let's put the arrows. So that first arrow, I'm going to have negative 2 times 3x. And then when I do the second arrow, again, pay attention to the negatives. I'm going to have this negative 2 times this negative 1. Well, negative times a negative is going to give me a positive. So I'm going to put plus, and then 1 times 2 is 2. So I'm just going to put 2. Kind of skip that work. And then negative 2 times 3x is negative 6x. I just bring down this plus 2. So I end up with negative 6 plus 2. All right, so this is just the basic idea of distributive property. Again, it's a property you've probably seen before, and we're going to use all the time throughout the rest of the year.